and welcome to part 2 of learning to play Diddie Wah Diddie, the great tune by Blind Blake. We're going to look at the Charleston, which is the very last section of the tune, and what you just heard me play. It's a really interesting rhythm. You basically play it around a cowboy C shape. So you put your third finger on the 3rd fret E string, little pinky on the 3rd fret A string, second finger on the 2nd fret D string, first finger on the 1st fret B string. That's cowboy C, and then you got this interesting rhythm. I'll just play it nice and slowly, and you can kind of clap along, you know, and sing along and try to internalize that rhythm as much as you can. I'll play it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. So as you can hear, it's quite an interesting sort of bounce between the 2 octaves. So the thumb starts on the and of 4 and 1, and that happens pretty much all the time. We've always got this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So just get that thumb on the low E string and the A string, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. The next thing we're going to do is get our first finger, and we're going to play that C, that B string, 1st fret. And then we're going to play that twice, and then go up to the E string. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and. So I'm switching, alternating index and middle on the B and the E string. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and. And then we're going to do is essentially the same rhythm, and 1, 2, 3, and. But this time we're going to go back to that E string and hit that low G, and 1, 2, 3, and. So we're still going to do our 3 and like we were doing before, but the bass is now going to play the 3, and then the first finger is going to play the and. 1, 2, 3, and. Then we're going to do our and again on 4 and 1. Same as before, but this time the 1 is going to be an octave higher on the high C instead of the low C. So, and 1, 2, and. So you switch in between those 2 octaves. And 1 is now a high instead of and 1. There, it's going to go an octave higher. And 1, and then down for the octave for bass 2, and then back up the octave for the and of 2. So, and 1, 2. Sorry, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. So when you put those 4 bars in a row, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and. So notice that octave leap, C down to G, C down to G. Might be a good idea to clap it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and. Yeah. So that's enough on that, I think. And then we're gonna move on to this sort of walking bass line. So you're kind of going. So with the first finger, we're going to play low F on the E string, and then open that A, and then the 3rd finger goes to C on the 3rd fret A string, and then open D, and then you're going to do a pull off from the D sharp or E flat on the 1st finger, 1st fret D string, to the open D, and then back down to the 3rd fret of the A string. This is outlining an F6 chord. you're going root, and then the third, and then the fifth, then the sixth, and then that sort of flattened seventh, and then down the way you came. So you just lead into that with an open E. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this time on the and we go to the 3rd fret of the E string to play the low G. So when we put those two phrases together, the Charleston and then the arpeggio bass, it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we're going to go to our C shape again. And this again, this is like a bass riff. So we go 3rd finger on the 3rd fret C, and that's on the A string, open G. So I'm doing the 1st note with my thumb, the 2nd note with my finger, 2 on that G, and then I'm hammering on from the D sharp again, that 1st fret D string, onto that 2nd fret D string. And then we're going to switch with our fingers, so the 3rd finger is going to play the C, and then jump down to the low G, and then back up to the C. So it's going to sound like this. Yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now it's really important we use our fingers like this, because what we're about to do is play another high G up there. So we're going to move over to a G sound on the G7. So it sounds like this. So we're going to lead into that G. So the C comes first. And then you switch to that 3rd finger on that G. Like we did before in the previous section in part 1. And all the rest of it is exactly the same. Until we get to the very end. So the idea is you go back into that section that go back round to the top. But if you wanted to finish there, what you could do is this. You essentially go the same as before. And then you could do this little ending. A cheeky little ending. You essentially do like this alternating bass. So we do a C chord, we're just doing the octaves, and then jump down, so you do that alternating G thing with the 3rd finger like we do for most of the tune. And then we're going to catch that high G, so we're going to go C major, and then low bass on G, and then back to C, and then on the and, we're going to play that high G. 1, 2, 3 and then we're going to have a little rest, and then on the and of 4 we're going to play an E flat or D sharp, this is a lovely little line. We're going from the D sharp, so we're going to get that semitone to E, and then we're going to play essentially an arpeggio, so we're going to go E, C, A, G. So it's like an A minor 7 arpeggio. So that's open E. After you played the D sharp, you play an open E, then first finger on the first fret B string, second finger on the second fret G string, and then open G. And then you slide in from that D sharp again, second finger, play an A minor 7 arpeggio again, this time the chord shape, and then the low C, jump down to the G, and then C chord, cowboy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and slide. So I'm doing fingers until that D string, then thumb, thumb, and then strum. So that's all the sort of components, as it were. Let's just run through it nice and slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1. I can't talk and play. And then all this stuff is the same as before. So I rushed through that quite a bit. I hope that's okay, but you can always just rewind and play with that all again, and hopefully that will make sense. But good luck, guys. I hope that's okay, and yeah, let me know if you've got any issues, and don't forget you got the tab down there as well, so you can always just refer back to the tab instead of taking my word for it. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers, keep on playing. Thank you.